Hey everyone, this is Chad from GadgetGuruHD.com, and in this video I'll be giving you all my full thoughts and also a comparison between the LG G Pad 8.3 Google Play Edition and the iPad Air. Now the iPad has been around for a long time and is the undisputed most popular tablet on the market. The Play Edition G Pad also has a lot going for it. Which one is best for you? Let's find out. The original iPad really shook up the tablet market in 2010 and it was a prime example of Apple innovating. But since then, there hasn't really been many groundbreaking changes until now. The LG G Pad 8.3 is LG's shot at finding a midway between the iPad Air and the iPad Mini. It's larger than the Mini, but it's still smaller than the Air. Now Google has really taken a chance with LG, as the 8.3 is the first Google Play Edition tablet to ever be brought to the market. Getting on with the actual comparison, the iPad Air runs the latest version of iOS 7. Now the new OS has really gotten a lot of bad press, but after getting used to it, it isn't really all that bad. It's a pretty major design overhaul from iOS 6, but the learning curve isn't too steep and you should be able to catch on in just about no time. Some of my favorite new additions to iOS 7 include Control Center, which allows quick access to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, the flashlight, and more. It's really similar to the pull-down notifications on Android. There's also new multitasking, which can be triggered by double pressing the home button, but now it's more intuitive as you can actually see all the different applications. The LG G Pad runs stock Android, which is essentially how Google envisions Android. Like iOS, 4.4 KitKat is a bit of an overhaul and is generally cleaner, with new icons and translucent mini bars that replace the older black color design. So far with my experience, KitKat is really smooth and makes Android a much more polished up complete experience. It sort of takes what 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich did and condenses it into a much more intuitive, nicer overall operating system and experience. Now getting on with the build quality, which may be the best thing about each of these tablets, the newer generation iPad Air got a new design upgrade from the previous 4th gen iPad. This makes the iPad Air quite literally a blown up iPad mini Retina, which in my opinion is a good thing. Both the iPad Air and the G Pad have a solid aluminum construction that not only looks great, but also feels great. The G Pad has more of a brushed aluminum look, while the Air has a solid color, either space gray or silver. The only thing I've been disappointed with is the speakers on both the iPad and the G Pad. The G Pad speakers are located on the back, which makes them an ideal location to be covered up and muffled, and the iPad sound quality is definitely less than stellar, and it would have been nice if they were a bit louder. I really would like to see the speakers being moved to the front of the device, similar to the Nexus 10 and also the smartphone, the HTC One. As far as how the tablets feel in the hand, they are very similar because of the aluminum bodies. The main difference, however, is the actual size of each of them. Now obviously the iPad Air isn't a one-handed device and it isn't meant to be one, but the G Pad is actually somewhat usable with one hand. As far as the actual dimensions of each tablet goes, the G Pad measures in at 260mm in height and 126 in width, while the Air towers over it, coming in at 240mm tall and 170mm wide. Ever since using smaller form factor devices like the Nexus 7 and G Pad, I've actually found that lugging around larger tablets like the Air, believe it or not, becomes a pain. And yes, I know, the new slimmer form factor of 7.5mm and the incredibly lightweight of 478 grams, or 1 pound, definitely makes me reconsider the Air, but honestly, I still do prefer the smaller size of the G Pad, but that's something that you'll really need to find out for yourselves. The iPad Air features the same beautiful Retina display that has been shown on the last several generations of iPad, and the only thing that you'll want to consider is that it's possible that the next gen will actually feature a 4K or 2K resolution screen. Now this isn't guaranteed, but it's pretty much speculated that this will happen in the future. The G Pad doesn't have a bad display, but it isn't mind-blowing or amazing. You might have noticed in my speed test comparison how dim the G Pad was, and that's something I've had issues with. I enjoy the larger display of the G Pad, but in my opinion the iPad Air wins 10 times out of 10 in terms of clarity. The Google Play Edition LG G Pad comes in at $349 and is only available in black, which is actually pretty steep considering the Nexus 7 2013 and other devices like the Kindle Fire HDX can be had for about $150 less. However, with this version of the G-Pad, you do get the Android operating system, which is completely stock. You also get expandable storage, and all of those things are definitely enticing for those that need the extra space and are just a fan of Android. Now, the iPad Air can be purchased in 2 color variants, Space Gray and Silver. The cost of the iPad Air is $499 for the base model, and like all Apple products, there's no expandable storage. Now, both of these tablets are incredibly powerful, there's no doubting that, but if you're into the actual specifications and benchmarks with Geekbench 3, then you can check out my video on that. It compares the iPad Air, LG G Pad 8.3, iPad Mini Retina, and also the 2013 Nexus 7. Now, I'm not going to give away everything, but I'll just give you guys a rundown on the basics. Now, despite the iPad Air's not too impressive specs, it is still really nice and surprisingly powerful. It features the new A7 chip and also has 1GB of RAM. On the other hand, the G Pad 8.3 has an ultra-powerful quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor and 2GB of RAM. Both of these tablets have no problem navigating through its operating system, and they're really a pleasure to use in terms of how fluid and smooth each of them is. I've tested both of these tablets out with high graphic intensive games, and they've performed very well. I'll be honest though, it is tough to beat how smooth the iPad Air is, and it shows that in the comparison. In conclusion, both the iPad Air and the G Pad 8.3 are fantastic tablets, and you can't go wrong with either. Now, when it comes down to actually choosing a tablet to purchase, you'll have to keep in mind the price like I mentioned earlier in the video, and the main thing for me is actually the form factor and also the operating systems. So it's definitely important to go into a local store, maybe check those devices out, see what size you find and like, and then go from there. Hopefully this video helped you all decide between these 2 tablets, and if it did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. I'm Chad from GadgetGuruHD.com, and I'll see all of you in my next video.